Hey everyone, welcome back to Music for Miles. Today we're taking a hands-on look at the Donner Hush X Pro. It's a high-tech, headless travel guitar with built-in effects, IR support, and a killer design. But wait, how does it compare to the original Hush X? Well, we're gonna cover that too. So whether you're thinking of upgrading or buying for the first time, this video is gonna be for you. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to Music for Miles. I'm Michael. What we do here is review gear that inspires you to play more. If that's something that perks your interest, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on my future videos. So before we get this video kicked off, I did break this down into chapters, so if you want to jump around the video, you can. It is located in the description below. All right, the Hush X Pro. This is what we're checking out today. I have this in the matte black version. If you guys are subscribers and seen some of my other videos, you may have seen this guitar featured many times. This is the Hush X. It is currently my favorite electric travel guitar. And now Donner just released the Hush X Pro, adding all kinds of new features and technology to this awesome portable travel guitar. So why don't we get started? Let's talk about the build and design. So the Hush X Pro looks futuristic right away. You've got a headless design, a detachable aluminum frame, a slim mahogany neck through build. The neck is super comfortable thanks to its C-shaped profile, rounded stainless steel frets, and all this really makes this guitar a pleasure to play. Now the version I have here is the matte black version. We do get a nice mahogany body on this. We get a very cool looking humbucker and single coil pickup here. The guitar does feature a Richlite type fretboard with abalone dot inlays. We're getting some low resistance tuning knobs here down at the bridge, which makes tuning this guitar up a total breeze. And this guitar packs down into a very small travel bag that you can actually take on an airplane, travel with you, stick in the back of your car, pretty much take it anywhere. Let's talk about the technology and features. Now for the magic. It is the Donner X processor, or the DXP. The cool thing about this is it does have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery that uses USB-C. So if you guys have any of the new iPhone models or Androids, you're pretty much covered. You have a USB-C cable lying around somewhere. Now looking at the top of the guitar, you are going to have your controls up here. And if we flip it over on the bottom, we're going to have our ins and outs. So what does the Donner DXP system offer? Well, this is where it gets kind of nuts. You're going to get built-in amp modeling with authentic sampling. You're also getting guitar model simulation. These specially designed pickups can emulate a Les Paul, Telecaster, Strat, Jazzmaster, you name it. And if you don't want to go with those emulation models, you can actually use these in the normal mode, which turns this into a humbucker and a single coil. You do get this three-way switch down here too, so you can kind of go between the pickup selections like you would on a normal guitar. This is going to include IR cab support. If you guys have a couple of your favorite impulse responses, you can load them into this digital system. Now let's talk about effects. This is going to have over 30 effects built into this guitar, ranging from your standard effects to stomp boxes, delays, reverbs. Now some cool technical features of this model is you're going to have Bluetooth support. That means you can connect your phone and jam to your favorite tracks without having to connect a cable to the bottom. This is going to feature an OLED display and super knob setup. Now super knob means that your knobs can do more than one function. You can click, you can toggle, all kinds of cool stuff you can do to make it easier on you to edit the presets and get your tone dialed in. Speaking of dialing in, it does have a built-in tuner, so you do not have to worry about bringing a tuner with you when you are either touring with this guitar or traveling. All right, so let's talk about the presets and bank system on this guitar. Now there is 6 different banks with 3 presets per bank. So you should be able to see A through F that I'm scrolling through, and when you press down on this multifunction button on the front by your humbucker, it changes the preset within that bank. You get 3 presets per bank, meaning you can have like a clean sound, an overdriven sound, and a high gain sound on one bank. And yes, if you do not plan on gigging with this or recording, if you use a pair of headphones, this sounds awesome and you don't have to worry about bringing a modeler with you or any kind of headphone amp. Everything is built into this new system. Now, another cool feature here on the back is when you pop off this little panel here, you can gain access to where your strings go in, but on the back side, you do have your tools. So you always will have the tools to adjust the action on this guitar at all times if you keep this on the back. All right, so if you're thinking about upgrading your Hush X to the Hush X Pro, let's talk about what is different. The original Hush X features a passive system, meaning these pickups are your standard humbucker and single coil. They're not active, there's no modeling taking place, compared to the new Hush X Pro, which is gonna have the Donner Custom Alnico 5 single and humbucker pickups that can do emulation, meaning these pickups can sound like a Strat, Telecaster, Les Paul, you name it. Let's talk about the controls between these two models here. The original Hush X does have a 3-way selection switch here. It does have a tone and a master volume. The Hush X Pro is going to feature a different type of switch here. It's a metal switch instead of plastic, and you do get that double stack knob just like on the Hush X for your master tone and your master volume. Let's talk about charging for both these guitars. The Hush X does have a built-in headphone amp, but it takes a 9-volt battery. The Hush X Pro has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery via USB-C. Let's talk about ins and outs. Now, the original Hush X is going to have a headphone out and a line out. The Hush X Pro is going to feature a headphone out, a line out, USB-C, and Bluetooth connectivity. So there's a lot more ins and outs on the new model. Let's talk about the tuning systems for both guitars. They are both headless. As you can see here, they both pretty much have identical profiles. The only difference is the Hush X Pro is heavier because the DXP system does require a little more room on here. You're gonna have more of a raw finish on the Hush X Pro where you could feel some of the wood grain versus a more smoothed out finish on the Hush X. They're gonna have very similar tuning systems, but the new Hush X Pro has a low resistance tuning peg, while this one has a standard tuning peg. But I found both of them to be pretty much the same. And finally, the Hush X Pro does feature the DXP system, so you get all of the digital sounds. You pretty much don't need an amp with this guitar. You can go direct out, have everything built into one package. If you are traveling or touring with the Hush X, if you go direct out of this, it's going to be a clean sound. You need an amp or you need something, a modeler to go into. There's no built-in sounds with the Hush X. All right, hopefully that informed your decision if you're choosing between the Hush X and the Hush X Pro. Why don't we dive into the sounds? I'm gonna plug direct into Pro Tools. All this is coming directly from the DXP system of the Hush X Pro. You're going to be getting the exact same sound if you go into a clean amp, a flat response amp, or a PA. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the Hush X Pro. Let's tackle the pros first. Now this has everything in one package. You're getting built-in amp sims, effects, IR support. It is super portable. You could take this anywhere, use it as a carry-on if you're flying. It's a solid build. This thing feels great in the hands. Now it takes a little bit of getting used to given the profile of the guitar, but you're pretty much getting a full-size guitar you can take anywhere. I love that it's using USB-C. It's using a modern way to charge the lithium-ion battery, and I think these pickups actually sound pretty good. They have a lot of articulation and attack I was pleasantly surprised with. All right, so let's talk about the cons. Now, it's not all perfect with the Hush X Pro. I think the battery life could be a little bit better. Now, 5 hours is just fine. You know, I was able to actually get a little more than 5 out of it. But if you are traveling a lot, just make sure that you unplug your headphones, unplug everything from it, and turn it off when it's not in use so you're not draining the battery. Now, another con here is I am not the biggest fan of this OLED system here because you do get the top brace right above it. I found myself taking the brace off when I was editing sounds. I don't really know a solution though. It is probably the most convenient place to put it other than on the back of the guitar, and you'd have to kind of lean it back. But it was a little bit frustrating having to take off the top, edit my sounds, put the top back on, or maneuvering your fingers around the top brace so you can get to those knobs. All right, let's talk about the final thoughts on this guitar. If you're a guitarist that's on the move and you want a serious tool that travels light, the Hush X Pro is gonna tick all of those boxes off for you. It's fun, it's flexible, it sounds great, and it has that DXP system with everything built into this single guitar. No amp, no pedal board, nothing, and you're ready to go. If you're deciding between the Hush X and the Hush X Pro, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Hush X Pro for travel is going to be the way to go. All right, thanks for watching. If you dug this review, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. That really does help the channel, and I'd love to hear from you guys. Have you played the Hush X? What do you think of the demo? What do you think of the design? Now, this is in matte black. I think it looks stealth, futuristic, killer, but I would love to hear your opinion on it. So stay tuned for more gear reviews here on Music for Miles, and I'll see you next time.